Hello, everyone, and welcome to the One Conscious Love Network. I'm here with some beautiful healers and practitioners, specifically in energy work. Today's topic is all about energy work and how to protect yourself from others' energy, but also how to replenish it. And we're going to go through all the details with everyone here. I'm so grateful that they're all here. So, without further ado, we're just going to go around and give you guys a chance to introduce yourself and tell everyone how is it that you shed your light in the world. So, Ashmita, please go first.
Thank you. I'm Ashmita Arora, and I'm a spiritual teacher. I also own the intuitive practice, which helps people go through hard transitions in their life when they're
Mm.
dealing with grief, heartbreak, career changes. And I'm also a channel. So basically, when I sit with my clients, I allow what's coming through to just flow through me, and it comes through from divine. So um, for some people, they're familiar with channeling, and for others, they're not so familiar. So what I do is I typically tell them the way I work is I connect with their higher self, their guides, their angels, and bring through the messages that are meant to find them in that moment. And I'm also able to see soul patterns. And so they show up to me almost like a language. And so I'm able to decipher what they're supposed to learn in this lifetime and why and how to go through the obstacle in which they're in at that given moment. And so I give them a deeper level of understanding as to why they're going through those periods in their life and what they're supposed to gain from it and how they can do that. And also then how they can embody that lesson and actually apply it in the real world.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. We hadn't met before, so it's a pleasure that
Yeah.
you're here and that we get to meet you at the
Thank you
same
for having
time.
me.
Angel, please go ahead.
Hi, everyone. My name is Angel Theodore, the Self Care Catalyst, and I'm the founder of My Self Care Catalyst. I help high achieving women with burnout. We are all pulled in so many different directions. We're moms, wives, friends, sisters, and all those things. And we tend to forget to take care of ourselves, or we leave ourselves to the very last minute. And I've noticed there's been millions of women going through burnout, they're getting autoimmune diseases, stress related illnesses, and all those things. I have my own experience with burnout and learning to recover from that as well. And I found that it's little changes in your life and incorporating little moments of self care and protecting your energy, like we're talking about today, that makes the biggest difference. It doesn't have to be an overhaul. So now I'm starting a global movement where women can step into that care and learn how to take care of themselves, then they can show up better in the world for them, for everyone else around them, and just continue to do the things that they love. So, thank you so much for having me today.
Oh, I love that. Such an important niche for sure to work with the people that are burnt out. Gosh, all the time I see it in my friends. It just breaks my heart. Thank you so much. Cassandra, please go ahead.
Hello, Melanie. Thank you for this opportunity. And my name is Cassandra Lee Wilson, and I am transmitting from the Oracle Realm, which is a beautiful space for people to clear, balance, and bring beauty into their lives through your own self, through your physical environment, through your home, and with nature. So, currently, we're offering the Home Renewal Project, which is an opportunity for people to do energy work on their home and get into a state of balance and clarity when they come home to rest.
I love it. And actually, this whole event was inspired by Cassandra. Cassandra had her interview in the One Conscious Love Network last week. And we were like, we need to have an event. So here we all are, thanks to you. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Thanks.
Okay, and I'm just gonna see if Emilia can pop back on. I know she's multitasking today, so she'll join us again. And everyone has met Emilia before, thankfully, so she can just hop back in whenever she's available. And so with that, we'll get started with our first question. The first question is, in your work, how do you recognize when someone's energy is being drained or impacted by external forces? Ashmita, we're going to start with you.
Yeah, so one of the things is, like I said when I talked to you before, or I put it in the email, they show up. They show up to a session. That's usually my first inkling, of course, that something is weighing them down. But it also transmutes into heaviness, heaviness in their body, energetic heaviness, fatigue, fogginess, not being clear on themselves, what they're supposed to feel like. They feel lost in a sense because their energy has been distorted in so many different directions or is being manipulated by outside forces. And so there's typically, what I have noticed is that there's patterns that they've kind of gone through in their life that have left them open to be affected by different energy sources. Because the example that I give is if I was like, Melanie, I hate your purple hair, it's not going to affect you because you don't find that that's true for you, right? You don't have purple hair. And so you'd be like, okay, what are you talking about? That, like, whatever. But if there's something inside of you that has an insecurity or has some sort of an attachment to what they're saying, then you're going to hold that in a different regard altogether. And so that's when they're saying they're affected by something, something outside of them is bothering them. It's because there's an attachment to an emotion that it's bringing up.
Mhm.
And so that affects them in different cores of their life. For some people, it's all different facets of their life get affected by it. Their personal, their professional. For some people, they can compartmentalize it into one area. But typically, what I feel when they come around is just confusion. It's they keep repeating the same patterns throughout different circumstances in their life that they don't even put two and two together. But both of the events may trigger the same emotions within them. So that's one of the ways that I'm able to kind of recognize it. For me, it's a lot of recognizing patterns,
Mhm.
and that's because I'm able to read soul patterns. And yeah, that's probably the clearest way that I can see it.
That's so beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Joel, please.
Yeah, so similar to Ashmita, I'm hoping that I say that correctly. I'm saying your name right, but when I talk to my clients or other women in the community, it's the heaviness that they're feeling. Sometimes it's in their body, like their shoulders, or they're saying, like, man, I've had this ache that just won't go away, or I've had this headache for a few weeks and it's just not shaking. To me, that's a sign like you're stretched out too thin, you're not protecting your energy, and you're burning out. Also, in other ways of their lives where things that used to bring them joy are just like it's like pushing through mud. It's like you're trudging. It's like a chore to do it. That's a big indicator to me that you're burnout in a way. And also just you're a little more irritable. I kind of think of like a rubber band, usually there's the looser ones, they have a lot of elasticity and all those things, but the tighter ones, or if they get older, they snap, you know. So if people's energy, like maybe they come to a session and they're like a little more irritable, no judgment, of course, but to me, that's an indicator that their energy is being drained.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Totally. That gives you a total different perspective on people are snapping at you out of the blue, right?
hmm And it also makes me think of, when you go to fill up your gas tank, and like then you're driving around, and then your gas light comes on, right? And you've got a little bit of a warning there, but soon you're going to lose complete gas power. It's funny, my husband works with cars, but I don't know the correct terminology. And then your engine's going to kind of slow down and it's going to knock, and then you're going to stop, you know what I mean? And then you're going to have to walk to a gas station to get a can and fill up gas. So it's the same thing, essentially. It's like watching your gas tank and just making sure it doesn't go on E.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. I love that. I'm going to think about that now every time I go
Thanks.
past in the car.
Yeah, yeah. Also fill yourself up too.
I love that. Yeah, go get a massage when I fill up the gas. That sounds like a really good sounds like a really good idea. Thank you, Angel. Cassandra, you're muted right now.
Thank you. So to revisit the question, how do you recognize when someone's energy is being drained or impacted by external forces? So typically, I find that when we are thinking about an interaction with someone that we didn't quite get to be able to resolve within ourselves, we may find ourselves on repeat. And we may not know exactly what is the right way to handle the situation. Maybe, they've got some valid needs and concerns, and you have some valid needs and concerns, and it's not an immediate balance of energy. So, what I typically do is I send that person blue light. Okay. So love, light, health, and happiness, I send toward them. And then they're going to receive that. And then I'm doing something productive to neutralize the energy. And oftentimes when I do that, it's like it kind of cuts the tension, the energetic tension. And then I'm sending them love. And then that gives me some time to kind of come back into my own energy and maybe, take some time to come to the answer naturally myself if I'm not doing that in meditation. So I think that's something that I do that's really useful.
I love that. What other kind of energies do you send to people?
So, well, I typically do that love, light, health, and happiness in a blue light stream. And yeah, I mean, sometimes I help people by sending them just golden light or sparkling white light. Any kind of light, I think, is a really nice thing to send someone because the light knows what to do. So I think that that's, one of the greatest things that we can do if we're still in the middle of processing some emotion. Just sending everybody light, I think, is the best solution.
I love that. I love that. Emilia, you're back just in time to answer our first question. In your work, how do you recognize when someone's energy is being drained or impacted by external focus?
I recognize it. I'm sorry, I'm Amelia Moreland. I'm a hypnotherapist. And when I work with people, I notice sometimes that they can't stop talking about the people around them. Like they come to get help for themselves, but when they're sitting and they're talking in the session or the intake, they just cannot focus on themselves. So it's always someone else. These person and their problems, and it's what this person's doing, and it's how this person is behaving, but it's like less centered around how it makes them really feel. And I'll notice that they are like almost allergic to sit with the feeling of it for themselves versus how the other person is making noise around what's going on. And that leaks energy like nobody's business. That 10x's your energy out of you so fast because you're looking for an external validation in some form, whether you realize it or not. You constantly pulling in other people rather than being able to go inward. And so that's how I recognize it right off the bat. So yeah.
I love that. I love that. And that is so common. It's like a plague, isn't it?
Yeah, it's bad. It's like you're asleep to it. Most people are asleep to it. They really cannot seem to, like, as soon as the idea comes up that they might have to sit with themselves and sit how they feel, and whether or not, it doesn't really matter what other people think about what you're doing. What do you think about what you're doing? Do you respect yourself? Do you love what your decisions are? So that, yeah, it's really hard for some people to sit with that.
I love that. It would be probably quite panicking for a lot of people, but definitely the best way to be in a much better place, energetically speaking. So thank you so much for sharing that. Excellent. We're going to go around again. And our second question is, what practices or modalities do you teach or use to support energy protection? And why is it so effective? I understand many of us have multiple modalities and practices, but I'll I'll ask you to explain one or give a demonstration of one particular one that works well for you and your clients, just so we have a good understanding of it. And of course, everyone watching will understand that you have many more. Ashmita, please go ahead.
Yeah, so like you said, we all have multiple tools that we use, and it really depends on the person that's coming in.
Mhm.
Um, Similar to what Amelia was saying as well, with people coming in and they're over identifying with others. So one of the things to kind of break them out of that is I channel a meditative style trance for them. A lot of the times, the answers that they're seeking, the clarity that they need, they already know. They already know. It's just distorted. So I have them lie down, or depending on the type, and what I mean by type is there's some people that are very good at talking and getting through life, and almost you would think the suave type, right? That they can talk something's wrong, but they know they go to seek help, but they're still able to talk and articulate themselves in a way where they're almost organizing how they want the session to go, or blocking off the truth of their emotional vulnerability. And so I've had people that I've had stand up, completely open, close their eyes, lights off, completely vulnerable. And I will take them through a trance-like state and have them answer questions. And when I intuitively know that it's off, I say nope, and I just get them to repeat it, no, and repeat it until they get to a state of really getting into their truth, their emotions. It's almost like amplifying that butterfly stage when they're going in and then they turn to almost like a goop before they turn into the butterfly. And so I take them through that, and you have to almost break that shell for
Mhm.
that clarity to get through. And so I'll go in and I completely just channel. I just channel and allow what's meant to be said to come through. And with those sessions, they're a little bit, let's say, almost harsher in a sense because that's how they need it delivered. And then there's other times when they lie down and it's more of a very gentle, loving type of, it's all love. It's just different ways that it's expressed in terms of what they need for that moment. And so that's more of a gentle, caring, not coddling, but somewhat more comforting type of session that makes it very, very safe for them to get through to their truth because that's what they need in that moment. They don't need the hard, structure and the nope, we're going to get through this, we're going to get through this and break that shell. They need that gentle type of attention. And so that's one of the modalities that I use on top of doing other things like using their charts and uh, just intuitively talking to them. Because when I do talk to individuals, the way that it shows up to me is basically like reading between the lines.
Mm.
And so they're able to say it, but they can't necessarily see between the lines. So I just take it back to them and show them. And so, like I said, they already have the answers, the clarity that they need. I just facilitate bringing it through to them in whatever
That's
modality connects.
that's beautiful. Thank you so much. Yeah, I like the examples. They're really relevant. Thank
Yeah.
you. Angel.
Yeah. So like Ashmita said as well, like everyone is different. So I tailor certain sessions to the person. But first, I usually say like, let's come back to yourself because a lot of times the women I work with are like frantic. I need more energy. I have so many things to do, and I'm like, hey, let's come back to yourself. And then I have them do box breathing. So and I also let them know what, like, do the breathing that makes you feel comfortable. But I found for me the box breathing. So it's you breathe in for 4. So let's all try it together. 1, 2, 3, 4. You hold 2, 3, 4. And then you exhale 2, 3, 4. And I have them do that a few times to ground themselves and let them know, like, hey, we're in this space right now. The laundry list of things that you have to do, like, we're going to figure out how to do that. but like, let's be here, you and I, right? And then I start with baby steps because when you have this long laundry list of things you have to do, you you're like, oh, how am I going to get it done? What am I going to do? But I'm like, okay, what's the best next step that you can do right now? What feels like the least resistance to you right now? Do you have to do like your physical laundry today, or do you and your family have enough clothes for the rest of the week? You know, how can we organize this? You may be wondering, where can you put in like your workouts, your self-care, and all those things. And that's a big thing I talk to my clients about, is that it doesn't have to be this big overhaul. We're kind of in this self-care movement where it's like, hour-long workouts, 30-minute journal sessions, cold plunges. And if you're someone who's not used to that, but you want to incorporate that into your life, it's going to take small incremental steps and habits to do that. So I actually have a self-care tracker that I give out, totally free, so I can share it with the audience as well. But it's, focusing on your mind, your body, and your soul. And then, did you do a 5 or 10 minute meditation? Check that off. You took care of your mind. Did you go and walk in nature? Check that out. You took care of your body physically and you got some sunlight in you. Did you catch up with a friend that brings life? I call it your baby leap. Like, what makes you excited? Check your soul. You've done something for your soul. And then so what this does is it just really grounds the women and just like shows them that they're already doing a good job. It helps them to live in the moment. And also it just gives you a place to track your progress, because that's the thing I feel like, especially with my audience, they may be too hard on themselves. They're like the high ambitious women. I need to be doing more. I need to be doing more. But if you see like, oh wow, this month I've taken care of my mind, body, and soul, it may not be these hour-long workouts or whatever, but I've still done something. It helps to build momentum, and then they can use that as a launch pad to move forward.
So true. And then those small incremental steps, they make such a big difference when you look
Yeah,
back.
yeah,
I love that, your handout. So we'll have to put it in the comments so
yeah.
people
I'm happy to
can
share.
find it. I love it. Thank you. Cassandra.
Okay. So, because we're all in an energetic bubble that we call our auric field, something that I do with my clients is I protect that energy. So, if you want to participate, I'll lead you through it. You can close your eyes, and then you want to visualize your auric field, so a bubble around you that is protecting you and keeping you in your space. So you acknowledge all of that bubble as being completely sealed with no tears, no rips or openings. It's a completely uniform bubble. And then around that bubble, you visualize royal blue light. So it's like a deep indigo blue that surrounds your auric field, going around all of your aura, just coating it like a coat of paint that's dripping down, going all the way around your auric field. And then once you've finished with the blue, go ahead with the violet, nice purple, deep, rich purple going around, coating your entire field, going over any little bubbles or any little bits that need to be sealed. And then finally, a golden layer, just closing the aura completely. The last layer is the golden. Let that golden paint just drip down all the way around the bubble, all the way under your feet, sealing the bubble in this golden light. You place your hand on your heart, left then right. Take a deep breath. Safe in your bubble. And you can open your eyes again.
So beautiful. Thank you.
Welcome.
Lovely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Emilia, please go ahead.
Melanie, I love good old journal prompts. That's my favorite thing to put people through. And the thing about journal prompts is you can use them in hypnosis and you can use them in conscious aware coaching. So either way it goes, it's really just where the client is safer. And the ones for external external holes and drains that people are leaking their energy out of, I really like to start with the question, okay, so what is it draining your energy? Like, let's say it's a person. Let's say this person has triggered you 5 times this week. You cannot stop having this conversation with them and imagining what you would say to them if they could just listen to you and get a piece of your mind one more time or at all. And from that point, and maybe it's not even a person, maybe it could be a job, it could be a situation, it could be like a perceived threat that isn't even happening yet. It could be something that's just like out there. So what we do is we go through and we see, what is it and who is this thing to you? Like, who is this person to you? What is their opinion and their criticism really? Why does it hold so much weight to you? Like, let's say it's your dad that's triggered you 5 times, okay, so that makes sense. That's a parent that, that person loves you, you love them, hopefully, or not. And so you get into this thing where let's look at that person that's triggering you. Do they live the life you want? And it's either yes or no. And most of the time it's a no. Do they have what you want in your life? You can respect them as a human being, but do you respect the life path that they're carrying for yourself in a way where you really want to stop and carry the weight of their criticism and their opinion when they don't even have the direction that you're going in? We're going like this, 2 different directions. So why hold on to that? Why are we going to sit with that, hold on to it, carry it with us, and look for validation with it when it doesn't even align with who you are? And from that point, we go into why do you need them to validate you so much? And I said this earlier, is it because you don't validate yourself? Do you not respect your own decisions? Do you not love yourself? Do you hate yourself? Like, let's get to the bottom of it and really go into the why we have the hole to begin with. So in conscious coaching that I do, that's like a journal prompt kind of thing where we go through these kind of questions. And then in hypnosis, we still go through the questions, but they're connected to their subconscious. So they go way deeper. We can go through scenes, we go through all of this stuff where the beginning of that belief and the beginning of that, like where it started and happened in their life and where it stems from and how it's morphed into the entire behavior pattern around it and holding on to it. So yeah, the questions were, who is messing with you? Why are you letting them mess with you? And do they have what you want? And if they don't have what you want in your life, let it go. Let it go. And is it going to matter in a year? Is it going to matter? And are you going to remember it in 5 years? Because I don't remember a lot of things 5 years later. If I'm not laughing at it, I don't remember it. I've deleted the memory, let the whole thing go. And then I'm not carrying it around with me anymore. I'm turned back inward because at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself if you respect yourself enough to just stand in your own power. And that's like, once people get locked into that, what are they not going to be able to do? But yeah.
I love it. Why carry that old baggage around, right?
No, you don't need it. Delete. Delete. Throw it in the trash. Set it on fire. Not literally, but
although I still love a good old burn ceremony.
Yeah, I've done it. I've done it.
I'm at the beach.
Nice.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, you're all so beautiful, and those answers are so inspiring. And I hope that in today's conversation, we inspired one person to do something, to take action, to really nurture and protect their energy. And also then, just like planting a seed, watch that plant grow and become just this beautiful tree that we have all over the earth. I will share one technique that one of my best people shared with me. Her name is Kimberly, and she runs and operates the Chakra Bar in Playa del Carmen. And she is this beautiful Zen master, Reiki master. She studied in Japan for years. And when you go visit with her, she has a table that's made with amethyst, and you lay on it, and then she has all these Vogel crystals lined up to your different chakras, and she works with you on opening up your chakras and releasing, energy that no longer serves you. And she's just this beautiful, beautiful person. I can't wait to give her a big hug when I go to Playa again this winter. And that's why I use this background today to inspire me to share this tip from her. And so I'm going to show you how to do it, and you can feel free to do it along or not. And what it is, it's called the zipper, and you do it when you enter a space where your energy will be triggered, or your energy could be at risk. So for me, that's spending one-on-one time with my mother. It's always very difficult. But her technique has actually helped me to then protect my own energy so I can enjoy the time that I have with her. And so this is what you're going to do. You're going to close your eyes. You can take a deep breath if you want. I always do, but you don't need it. And you're going to use your hands, and you're going to go to the very bottom of your root chakra, which is all the way down at the bottom of your tailbone. And you're going to imagine the zipper exactly when it's cold outside and you feel this rush of cold wind and you want to zip up your jacket really fast. You're going to grab that zipper at the bottom of your tailbone, and you're going to zip it up all the way up. And as you zip it up, you're going to close off your field of energy and keep your beautiful energy inside. You're going to zip it all the way up to the crown chakra, all the way to the top of your head. You're going to lock it up. You're going to eat the key. And when you're ready, you can then unzip it to allow energy to flow in and out again. So that's my favorite trick that Kimberly shared with me. I use it all the time. And sometimes, we get triggered unexpectedly in traffic. That happens to me. My French side comes out. So I take my zipper and I zip it up, and I enjoy my ride instead of getting triggered. So I hope you enjoyed that tip and trick. I'm so happy that you're all here today. Thank you so much for being here. And I look forward to having you all again on the One Conscious Love Network. As I said at the beginning, Cassandra was the inspiration for this event. I'm so grateful for you and for all of you who joined us today.
Thank you, Melanie.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
And thank you, everyone, for watching on the One Conscious Love Network.